does the Bible have to say about foolishness and wisdom?
Well, why don't we invite in our special guest today, Craig Ashby from Alexandra Baptist Church. And Craig, did you play any pranks yesterday?
No, I didn't, but I really like the sound of Kat's daughter. Obviously, she was, hobbling around. Did it get her off school? That's probably the real kicker.
Yeah, it didn't get her off school. It didn't get her off catching the bus, and I don't believe she got out of PE either. So plans thwarted somewhat there.
Went sideways. Yeah. No, I didn't play any tricks, any pranks. Hopefully those days are long gone since I'm so much more mature now. But
no more fun for you.
But definitely, I just jumped on the internet last night, had a look at things around the country, and V, the energy drink, the little green can. Yeah, they apparently said they were producing a product that was going to be a melatonin sleep drink called Z instead of V.
I love that. They should actually make that. I would drink it.
The Up and Go energy breakfast drink, they also said they were going to do a liquid sleep version, and it was going to be called not Up and Go, but Down and Stop.
Beautiful.
And it was going to be a lavender and chamomile flavour or something.
Oh, disgusting. Can you imagine lavender and chamomile flavoured milk?
I'd rather not.
No.
Well, one of the ones I saw, I thought actually was pretty good. I don't know how many people got sucked in, but the University of Waikato said they were going to bring a herd of cows onto campus just to be the eco-friendly lawn care option.
Oh,
and kind of smart, isn't it? Really?
No, really, they should have just gone with one goat because we know how much damage one goat can do.
Totally, exactly.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't do any pranks, but I think April Fool's is just a good opportunity to. For people to laugh at themselves, not take themselves too seriously, and play pranks. And so I did some research, and actually, I reckon New Zealand's probably a good place to be in for April Fool's, because in Scotland, it's actually called Gawky Day. I don't know if I'm saying that right, or I don't have a Scottish accent on, but the gawk is the cuckoo bird, which is symbolic of being foolish. And so the Scots, they pin kick me signs on the back of all their friends, and I guess they go around and kick them. I don't know.
Well, that's quite funny.
Yeah, look, it's one thing, though, to, be playing the fool for a day like this. But, when we dive into the Bible, we see that this idea of foolishness pops up quite a lot, especially when it's more than just a one-off day, but more of a lifestyle. So what does the Bible say about foolishness, and what's the opposite?
Well, you're totally right, Andrew. There is a lot of foolishness in our world. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know there's a bunch of stupid ideas out there. Things just go wrong, and it's actually really easy to get sucked into some of that thinking. And so the Bible offers a brilliant counterpoint to the foolishness of this world. And I think what I love about the Bible is it's essentially ancient wisdom that has stood the test of time, and it is as real and as relevant now as it has been for, thousands of years. So, I mean, you look at the topics that the Bible covers: relationships, friendships, money, work, career, future plans, conflicts, justice, respect. I mean, all that stuff is stuff we need to know about. So, if you are trying to kind of push back on that foolishness and live a different way, the Bible encourages anyone who wants to know God to seek wisdom. That's kind of the tipping point there.
And the best thing about that is that he promises that he will actually give it to us when we ask him, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I love that from James. So probably the real repository of wisdom is arguably the book of Proverbs. There's 31 chapters in Proverbs, and one of the key lines is this, Proverbs chapter 8, "For whoever finds wisdom finds life and receives favor from the Lord." And you've probably seen it, maybe certainly in your life and other people's lives. There's a real blessing, firstly knowing how things are meant to be, but also actually following that path and tracking through. So yeah, I don't know, I just think wisdom is something that we've got to seek after.
Yeah, and we've got so much information these days too. I love the contrast between just knowledge and wisdom that the Bible makes, because I think we've never had more access to information. But you can see how without a moral framework from the Bible, it drives us mad. We kind of need that biblical wisdom on top of all that information to actually flourish in our lives.
Totally. And so let me give you just some nuggets for the morning. We've got, people tuning in, listening. I don't know what the day is going to be like, but here's just some ancient wisdom for modern times. So wisdom around friends, right? Chances are we're going to see some of our friends today. This is what Proverbs 13 says. Walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble. Now,
That reminds me of the birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
And
Luckily,
also,
we don't have time to dive into my past history when I associated with fools. But I tell you what, trouble was not far
You're
away
not
from
alone,
that time.
mate.
So
yeah, well, I'll put my hand up and say I either associated with them or they associated with me, and I was one of them.
True.
Because, well, I've been there, you know, and it's really interesting because you can go on TED Talks as well, and it'll talk about you are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with, right? So you do have to think about that carefully. So what other nuggets do you have?
yeah, so money. That's probably a big one. I'm sure people are going to be, chucking out some change at some point today. So money, Proverbs 11, riches won't help on the day of judgment, but right living can save you from death.
Wow.
That hits the bullseye right there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's just, if that was the one thing that we thought about today, like we're not out to make as much money as we can because it's not going to help us on the day of judgment, but just live rightly, follow God's plans. It's got a bit more of an eternal consequence in a good way.
In other words, some problems you can't buy your way out of.
Yeah.
All right, have you got one more for us?
What's that? One more? Yeah. Okay. So, last one, work, right? Probably a bunch of us are going to be working today, whether it's paid or unpaid, all that sort of stuff. So this is from Proverbs chapter 12. Work hard and become a leader. Be lazy and become a slave.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's so good.
The thing about the Proverbs, right, every single one packs such a punch, doesn't it? And we could spend our whole lives just unraveling each one. And that's the beauty of it. We have this wealth of resource in the Word of God that we will never fully get to the bottom of in this lifetime, but we can try.
We can try, yeah. So I just want to maybe clarify something, Kat. Yes, there is a wealth of wisdom in the Proverbs, but there is the odd quirky one. So just to finish, this is one from Proverbs 27. A quarrelsome wife is like the dripping of a leaky roof in a rainstorm. Now,
I would agree with that. I mean, I don't have a quarrelsome wife, but
okay,
I can imagine.
There was no mention about the quarrelsome husband, so clearly this was written by a guy who did not think about, the opposite.
I was going to say, bringing it up to your wife face to face is probably not very wise either. So,
well, that's true. But look, you know what? If we have any questions about the proverbial wisdom, we can always bring them to the Lord on that day when we get to meet him.
Yeah. Good on you, Craig.
Awesome.
Yep, that's Craig Ashby from Alexandra Baptist Church. We're talking about wisdom and foolishness this morning. But look, maybe you need some prayer for some wisdom this morning.
Yeah, we'd love to pray for you. If that's you, get in touch, 8168 with the keyword Rhema. But thank you so much, Craig, for joining us today.
Most welcome.
Amazing. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss the next video.
We'll see you in the next one.